Hey, hey, hey. How are
Hello,
you doing? Good to see you again,
hola,
Stephen.
and
Yeah,
konnichiwa. I thought I today after a while, after 4 weeks, we are
I think
back
so. Yes. I think we
back in
counted.
business.
It was something like that right before we went live.
I think so.
And it's
Yeah.
it's it's been a while now. It's the holidays, it's family stuff, everything gets in our way. We haven't promised anybody to do things every week, but if we actually start getting a following, we I guess we may at some point start pre-recording stuff just to fill in, or maybe we will find other stand-ins we can use if one of us can't do it. Anyway, we're back,
Yes, we're back
and
exactly.
and with a bit of chance, we might actually be back next Friday as well. And then there's another
Yes.
couple of weeks of vacationing. Everything shuts down here in Iceland, so yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
how are things? What's the status on your end with all things coding and?
Quite good. Quite good. I unfortunately I have to say I didn't code that much for a bUnit in the last weeks. I did my
Uh,
private stuff. I hope that is okay for you. I
that's
really hope.
that's that's fine. I haven't
Cheating
done anything
on my
either.
own
It's
project.
it's yeah. Well, that's the thing with open source, right? It is something that you do after you've done your work and you're dealt with your family, been spend time with them, and then if you have free time left and you have the energy, then it's open source time. So no, absolutely fine. Yeah, I had a lot of fun going to a conference in the States, KCDC. Highly recommend that conference if you are in the neighborhood, and it's super cheap to attend as well. Well, that's that might be relative, but
In
compared to other,
comparison.
yes. So I think it was about 300 US to attend as just an attendee. So if you are in the neighborhood of Missouri, I'll definitely put that on my list of going there. There are some of the other conferences that I sometimes speak at, like the NDCs. I think they are 1,500 US or something to attend. Quite expensive. So, well, certainly more expensive.
Yes. One question. How many days was the conference?
It's so I guess
The
that
two?
might be also the difference. I think there's one day of workshops, and then
Ah,
there's 2 days of conference talks. So yeah, compared to NDCs, it's not apples and to apples comparison because NDC have what is it, 2 day workshop and 3 day conferences usually for the
yes.
larger ones they do. But
But this
still,
1.5K is only for the 3 days talks.
yes. And
For the
then it's
workshop,
about
you get
what is
over
it, about
to
1,000
pay.
or 2,000 extra for workshop days.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
guess 2.5 or so you pay two.
Yeah.
Roughly ballpark numbers.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a really good experience. Besides the 13-hour flight from Iceland, but other than that, it was a super awesome conference. Nice, very nice people, good organizers. So yeah, no complaints at all. Would definitely go again if they would have me. So fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's almost on the other side. If it would be the East Coast, that would be a bit more pleasant for you.
Missouri is kind of the middle.
That's the
It's
middle. You see,
yeah,
I shouldn't be. I'm
yeah.
outing myself. I'm not good in
Oh
geographics.
well, I joke with some of my friends I met at the conference or the speakers. I say, yeah, you know, I have, it's like them probably pinpointing specific countries in Europe. I had the same problems with the states, so I know sort of about the main ones like the East Coast states and the West Coast states, but it's a bit blurry in the middle, right?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Missouri. So it's in Kansas City. Missouri is just right in the middle, more or less. But I had to fly to Seattle and then basically fly, which is almost over on the west coast, and then fly back into the middle again. So it was a bit of
Yeah.
a
Okay.
detour, but that's then airline options we have from Iceland aren't necessarily always the best. So that's
Yeah.
how it ended up. You also went to a conference, right? I remember you mentioning
Yes,
something about.
I was this week basically. I'm coming back from a conference, so to speak, but it was in Germany.
Mhm.
The developer week. It was very nice. Was For me it was easy. I mean, it took me like 4.5 hours by car, so it's very very straightforward.
Mm.
4.5 hours by train, whatever you prefer. And it was also very well organized. There were 7 tracks in parallel, so it was a big mixture of everything. So I'm not sure. Your conference, was it mainly Microsoft / C#.net, or what was the specification? Where the focus?
It's a mixed conference. So I've been to another conference in Europe that is called Ördev in Sweden, and that's also have multiple different tracks. So let's see, Casey.
I mean, I
Let me
like that.
just
So that,
yeah.
for example, as a .NET dev, that you just go to, I don't know, your favorite TDD talk or DDD talk or
Yeah,
whatever you prefer. And
exactly.
it's nice.
Let me see if I can share my screen for that one. Here we go. So I don't know if it zooms in for me. So here, this was sort of the sessions, I guess, so you can sort of see the
Oh
topics
yeah,
here. They cover
quite
quite a bit of
a nice mixture. That's good.
quite diverse, yeah. So there were definitely some really interesting talks in there. I didn't get to see a lot. I ended up just doing the hallway track quite a bit, talking to a bunch of other speakers and attendees, and just having a good time. Eating lots of barbecue food, which is
Oh yeah, it's always nice.
the I don't want to say national food because that's not the right word. The local state food thing. It's something barbecued most of the time. So yeah, really good food as well. Anyway, oh, that's not how screen sharing works in this particular instance.
That depends.
Yes. Well. So I was with that one. All right. So I guess let's jump in and have a look at. Should we just do some pull request pruning, just making sure everything is
Yes,
building and working?
let's
And
do what we always do, and I will share my screen if I find the right button.
okay,
This should be the right button. I pressed the check.
I'll let you take the lead.
Yeah, so I would start literally from the top to the bottom because
Yes.
top to bottom is the specificity is top is unrelated to whatever we did 4 weeks ago, and the bottom is somewhat related or literally what we did 4 weeks ago.
And we hope we can remember what we were doing for you 4 weeks ago. But let's see about that. Yeah.
As always.
Yeah.
So, let's start with the docs lose auto-market description. So we had this issue here. Let me open this. And I just give you the rough abstract. The issue was, we can see it here, he has a component, and inside his test, he has an automocker service provider. So he has a fallback service provider, which uses an automocker, which basically creates a type of iComponent activator, which isn't null. And our library, as well as in some bits Blazor, checks if you have something like an iComponent activator registered. If so, do some certain logic with that thing. Otherwise, use a fallback or use a default.
Yeah.
And the problem is, in this case, he did basically provide a default implementation of iComponent activator, but obviously the mocker doesn't know what to do. So you create, or that thing creates null instances of a service or of a component in this case, which leads to very unpleasant exceptions at runtime. Well, this is particular an issue with bUnit itself. So my take on this was less about, hey, we should allow this scenario, because to be frank, I don't want to support every third-party library in all its shapes and forms. I think that's too much for us to ask and to support. But it's more of a, we should really document this. That's a documentation issue. And basically, that's what I leaned into.
Great. All right, I appreciate that. So, let's get that merged in. I guess.
Exactly. And what I just did here is that, using libraries like Automocker, that you should be aware that, if you have this thing in loose mode, so this is, very, very specific circumstances, that issue arises with some change we did some versions ago. And so that there's someone coming now tells me it's more on the exotic side than, the 80% case.
Yeah.
So I think we are fine with, just telling people, hey, just don't. Or, just be aware of that.
probably even the 95% use case. You might want to click the hide button on the StreamYard is sharing your screen dialog at the bottom of the
That
screen.
is that's true. I always forget it, like
That
always.
just triggers my OCD.
That's absolutely fair. I
yeah.
appreciate that.
All right. So, assuming you haven't made any spelling mistakes, let's just get that merged in.
I'm just thinking of maybe I should do an object question mark here just to be like super, super, super correct.
I think so actually, because it is. I think it is what get services is returning. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let me do this after the stream if you want.
Yeah.
Just that we talked about that. I will ping you. Okay. Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, you can easily fix it now, because we also, when we merge that into stable, we need to get stable docs building again, and there were an issue there anyway. So, okay, let's do this. Should I approve your PR, or can you just merge it in directly?
No, because we still have this. Oh, this is one thing. We have still this issue with. If you remember 4 weeks ago, just let me go into the editor right now. 4 weeks ago, we had always a red build on macOS because the macOS runner is using ARM64 now. And on main, we fixed this with, just switching to the x64 runner. And on stable, because we never made a release until then, well, until now, basically, we still have the broken workflow.
So I guess, but what I will do is I'm going to do a squash and merge, right?
Yeah, wait. I want to just fix that real quick.
If we check, can you check out? Okay, no. So have you checked out stable and are going to do a PR from that?
No, I am on this. Sorry, I am literally on that feature branch which we saw.
Okay, fair enough.
From
fair
the
enough. Yeah, we can combine them into two different. Yeah, if you.
I
we can
just
have it in the
to
same.
check which file I changed because my little brain, my snail brain, just forgot what it did. Like literally 2 minutes ago. So this file here. Here, look at this. Inject service. Let's go here. Let me make this a bit bigger. I'm sorry, it's very, very small. So I hope that should be big enough, huh? I hope so. And then we go here. So it's not like how can I search for files? If that works. Oh, Jesus Christ. How can I search for files? Wasn't there somewhere here you could search for files even in the web editor? Well, then not. Then we just go to the docs. Then we go to probably providing input. It was, huh? Providing input, inject services to components. Inject services and components. And there we have online 83. And this one should be a question mark.
I'm just trying to look at my own stream on my phone just to verify the size of the font for you. But apparently I wasn't allowed to do that. So let me see if I can just find the link I posted on. Nope, that's not the one. Here we go. So if we open that in an app, And now I need to mute.
No, I heard you. I'm saying the same thing again. Okay,
I think if you can zoom in a little bit, that'll, if for anybody watching on a mobile phone, maybe had about 200, that will be okay. You can always collapse that source control bit, the pane on the left side. Just click on just click there. Exactly. And
no, it doesn't do it. On mobile, it doesn't do it. And not on mobile, on the github.dev website, it doesn't do that.
Okay. I think it collapses if you just click the same icon that's already selected.
No, then it does this. This one you mean? I'm sorry.
Yes. So yeah, if you zoom into 200 or something, then it'll be good enough size.
So
there you go. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So I made the change. I added the question mark. I did add the question mark here, probably. Wait, I didn't. Here I also had it here. Yeah. Why is it now twice here? Wait, let me check. No. Fair enough. Okay. So you can add
maybe you just not what's it called?
It's already too late. I made
amend.
that's what you mean.
You can amend the existing PR that you had before, because I meant this last commit, because
How can I do this here in this ID?
isn't there?
I need the console. You know that. That's why I
If
did
it
this.
doesn't, we will. No, it's fine. It's fine. Keep that. There's no problem. We will just
We squash it. Oh, by the way, for folks
yeah.
tuning in right now, we created the opportunity. Let me just show this once. So if you ever want to, fix something like our documentation, and you're like, okay, I have no idea what to do. Maybe there's a lot of, onboarding.
Yes. Yeah.
We changed this. So if you go here to code spaces, so I just went to our document to our repository, and it's as long as you have a GitHub account, it's the same for you. You just go to code here, you go to code spaces, and then you can just create one here, or in my case, I already have one, and then just click on it, and you can see that thing is just spinning up. It's very small right now. So basically all the stuff you need, like .NET SDK, how to build our documentation, it's all set up for you. So just that you know, if you want to fix something and you feel like it's too much of a task to set everything up, we got you covered. Just use our GitHub code spaces. You get 120 hours, CPU hours per month for free. That would roughly translate depending on the machine you take. So you can say like, hey, I have 2 CPU cores. And if you use 2 CPU cores an hour, well, then you used 2 hours. So you can code in theory 60 hours straight before reaching that limit. So I would argue that's most of the times enough to make something like a small bug fix or a small documentation fix work.
Yeah.
And you don't have to know anything about stuff.
And it's a super nice thing. You don't have to install anything locally. I was about to ask you, like, why are you doing that through the GitHub UI instead of just locally on your machine? But that's the explanation.
Yeah, exactly. So
we're going to move us down in the corner so we zoom in a bit more as well.
Yeah, exactly. So what I did here right now, I just said as a task, we have this typical, if you work with VS Code, you can just create tasks. And there's a task basically which says, hey, build everything and then just show me this as an extra tab. And then the whole documentation is in an extra tab. I'm not sure how long this takes here now. I have not a beefy machine. So let's see how long this takes.
Well, it's not on your machine, is it? Is it it's running the
No,
cloud,
it's not on my machine. That's literally now on the cloud. So even if I have my phone, it would run. Not sure if you really want to do that on your phone. I know some folks.
If you really have to, like if it's live and death, and you are sitting by the pool and you don't have your laptop with you, I guess.
A colleague of mine has these flip phones, and he's a big fan of. At least you see it now. Open a browser, and then you can see he's port forwarding automatically, and this is the live documentation. If you change stuff, it would be reflected here. Everything runs not on your machine.
All right, so we should see your change in the documentation, the proper page that you just created, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you navigate into that,
I just have to pull the latest changes because.
You went on your feature branch. I think you're on a feature branch already. Oh, you mean?
Yes, but because my feature, so it's like a real machine. So it was offline for a few weeks now, and I pushed not on my code space. I pushed on something else. So yes, it's not top notch.
I see.
Current. We did providing input, injecting services, and it should be this one. I'm not sure if he did this right now. Let me just quickly. Yeah. Let me do this again. Run task. How was it? Yeah. Dogs. So I messed something big time. I did something really, really weird, but I'm on my current branch. Synchronize. Yeah, do this. Feel free to do whatever you want. Run tasks, because my task is gone. And I'm not sure why. Did we delete the branch right now? No, we didn't delete the branch.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Maybe it's you understand. Are you sure it's there? Because we haven't merged that new code space things. We haven't merged them to stable, do we?
You are so right. Yes, we didn't do this. That's why I don't see it here. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, but in theory, if you go from our main branch, then it's no problem.
All right.
And soon, when we make a release, then it's also
we can
the
just
stable
do
brand.
we can just do a release right after, right? A new V1 release, that is, right? And then it'll just get everything up
it's
to
fine.
date. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's that. I guess what I wanted to show for the branch here or the pull request here. Then we have the rebase v2 on main.
Yes. But should we fix the documentation so it actually gets this? Should we just merge in that documentation into stable?
I would, if you
Yes.
want. I mean, because of this beautiful guy here.
I want to fix that anyway, right? Because it's also causing issues with the validate docs step, which means we are not releasing. So I think we need to fix the stable branch with the same fixes. But it might be something I can do from my machine directly.
Well, couldn't we, in theory, we could, force merge that branch here or the pull request, and then we just make a new
Yes.
release from main? Shouldn't that fix
Yeah.
all of our problems?
Yeah. Let's do that. So I'm gonna squash merge this in with you. And let's see. Supposedly,
Oh, interesting. It shows me directly if I want to delete my code space because the branch is, gone.
yeah.
So GitHub thinks, hey, your code space, which probably you will not need and is idling around for no apparent reason, just delete it. And we'll do that now.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's see. Okay, and then nope. Stop that. So if you go to actions on your screen, up on main, go to actions, and then do a prepare release. Run that prepare release script, and run workflow, and that's fine. Minor, and just run. So that should create a release towards.
In the meantime,
actually, it will create a PR for us. That is, and it should be there
which we still have to
in
match.
very shortly, right? Yeah.
Exactly. In the meantime, I would like to close that ticket now.
Yes.
Done by we merged the updated documentation. Good. Close with comment.
Prepare release fails because. Okay. So
that was quick.
Yes, no, but it failed.
Yeah, okay. Our change log is empty.
Our change log is empty. So let me just go in and add
a quick in the change log just to.
No, I'm just gonna say CI pi build changes to enable running on pause running verification on x86 based AMD CPUs. I'm just gonna merge directly into main. Now,
then
you can do.
It's just a text file.
Exactly.
What should go wrong here?
Well, I might have a spelling mistake. Don't care. So it's. You could argue that because we are manually triggering prepare release, we don't really need to do that. Is there actually a change? Oh crap! It failed again. Why did it fail?
Oh, with the same. The unreleased section is empty. Is that the case?
It should not be. I just updated it.
Oh, yeah, it is empty. Unreleased. Isn't the fixed header 2 and it should be header 3?
Oh, dang it.
I mean, at least on the first look, it looks like
you are absolutely right. I will.
So we peer reviewed the pull request.
I should have merged directly to main apparently. Let's see. Changed header size to 3. Okay. Now you can go give it another shot. Now it should be good.
Okay, prepare release, run workflow, and let's go.
Hang on, did I?
I mean, on third try, that should work. I am
Well,
very, very confident.
I have no expectations that I won't fail again.
I have the expectation it could fail later, but
Sure. Yeah.
go in. Oh yeah, 8 seconds. Ooh, look at this. We did it.
Yeah.
It's almost done. What should happen now? I mean, there's
It
nothing
should create a
which can go wrong.
PR for us that will merge whatever we have in main into stable. And
Let's go.
synchronize those guys.
And there we are. There we go.
Yes. So if you go and change, look at that, you would see if you go to changed files, actually a surprising amount. But I guess some of that is YAML. Then there's VS Code tasks, some change logs, build
are
props. I was
what
actually
is
not
he-
expecting to have any
Interesting.
changes to
I know.
dependencies. Well, that makes sense. We've updated a bunch of dependencies recently.
Yeah. And this test context base, I guess this one comes because we updated these sonar analyzers. And
Yeah.
we
So that's
cannot change that on V1. That makes sense.
No.
Because we still wanted this post method, but because we are calling it this post method and dispose async and stuff. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The rest looks good, I would argue. Here is also version JSON does make sense, and the YAML files, and here the dev container. So yes, that looks solid.
And oh, dang it. But merge the latest change of stable into main. Hang on. Do we have? So actually, because our
that should happen automatically.
Yes.
Whatever merged or pushed to stable should be automatically go into main.
Yes, but it hasn't done yet because it's still verifying the docs up on in the there's the deploy new version of new version of bUnit or dev. That's if you go into actions, it's a few. It's still running further down, not that one, but that one, and that is whenever we push something to whenever you push something to stable, it will try to build the docs, and if that goes well, it will merge whatever changes you have. It will create a PR back towards main from stable.
Yeah.
So, but
it would make more sense now to make the stable PR happening before we merge twice to main back, because we already have changes now on stable which are not on main.
So I think I'll just click the update branch in the PR. You can also do that if you go into the other PR. There we go. That one. Yep. And click update branch. Update with rebase, right? Yeah.
Cannot be raised to conflicts. Interesting, but he wants to tell me that with the merge commit there is no conflict, but that with the rebase there isn't. There is. Interesting.
Yeah. Let's go and see the change list again then.
Let me just get the same 27 files are changed.
Okay. That makes sense.
That looks rock solid. I feel like, you know what? There's something missing here. Damn it. Let me just, just write that for my future self. So, not that we have to, I just resolve it directly. I just want to have the email in my.
Fair enough.
So I know what's going on. Okay.
And I guess we create? So when we want to merge I'm trying to remember here. Do we rebase the release branch into stable, or do we create a merge commit?
I think the latter one, because we did this once with rebasing, and I feel like we had some trouble, and since then we're just merging everything in.
Yes. Enable auto merge. Confirm auto merge. So supposedly everything should be building and working on the release branch. When it does that, it'll merge in. And see.
In the meantime,
I can see the other.
Oh yeah, that's a good sign at least, because that means it was successful.
Yes, actually, it seems like the. So now we have a PR named update.
Yeah, with documentation stable. So the back merge from stable into main.
Yes.
We have both directions right now. No, not both directions. Well, yes, we have both directions.
And I'm wondering if
I-
that's a good idea.
Yes, I don't think it's a problem.
No.
We just want to, as long as it's a merge commit, we can just push, main into stable, and then stable back to main. I guess it's no problem. Well, it will be a problem for our V2 branch, but who that's
Yes and no.
our future problem.
Not really though. But I'm wondering if we should. So we've already merged stable into our
Main.
release branch. Sorry, into our release branch.
Exactly. Yes.
But that we did that not using rebase, but using merge. Yes. So should we be merging? We still need to update. Well, I guess okay. So we will. What we can do, we can just close this PR, the update main with documentation in stable, because that's gonna happen with the next time we merge it. Right? Agreed.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm just gonna close this because when the
also,
release,
probably our workflow maybe even fails if we do that, because you already have an open pull request and GitHub doesn't allow you to have the same two branches.
So I closed that, and as soon as our minor release 1.29 gets into stable, we will have a new sync up with main coming the other direction.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
All right. So, all right. Should we? I guess what we can do, we can manually go and rebase V2 on main, which is what we want to do. So we might want to do that.
Let me. Oh yeah. How do you do that? Wait. Oh, it works. Is this somewhat visible, like readable?
I think it's good. It's good size. Yeah, should be fine.
Awesome. Okay, so we could also wait in theory, so we don't have to do it twice. Because we anyway have to also integrate those changes from stable to main into V2.
Yeah, but those are not too problematic. But
probably.
Okay, I think
so. Let's go to V2. Let's get all the changes of V2 in. And maybe we should really wait until we have this thing in, the smarter rendering in V2. Because if we
no, I think we still want to rebase V2 on main, and then we can rebase smarter rendering on V2.
Okay, so
it's rebase all the way down, merge all the way.
If I do this, do we expect problems? Probably, otherwise the pull request wouldn't be open, or wrong pull request?
No. I think it always does that just by default, but there's a few conflicts, which is to be expected because we changed some of those files, like updated dependencies. So
Steve, that was a very smart move. That was
no conflicts rebasing on itself.
Okay. So that means we have to go in here, bUnit. Exactly. Let me quickly just make this a bit bigger.
Isn't just VS Code that one? Just Control Plus. It's just the same zoom.
I'm on Mac.
Well, whatever you.
Zoom in.
You zoom in the same way in the browser as you do in
so you
VS
have to
Code,
press. I'll show you. Those three buttons. God, those three buttons I have to press.
Yeah. do collapse the left Explorer pane, I guess, or whatever, or at least the terminal output window. You can try. I think there's a control tilde that will just toggle the whatever the console pane.
Yeah. But to be honest, I like it to have it now at least because it helps.
Yes. It makes sense. It was more the terminal thing bottom.
Here, I guess it's pretty straightforward. We always want to have the latter one because this is
Yeah.
the incoming change because
Absolutely.
we're rebasing. So let's take that and let's continue. And obviously, the second commit is also already, throwing up and out to our faces. But this is expected because I mean, no one cares about those. We basically only need those changes, and I guess the problem here is if I just no. I thought the angle sharp version is different, but
No,
I guess we
it's
can just drop all of this because this is old.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
old
yeah, yeah.
in the sense of V2 old.
Exactly. We don't need that anymore. So just should be fine. Same thing there.
Arguably the same, huh?
Yeah, V2
Incoming
only
change.
supports 8 and later. So everything that targets lower versions can just be gone.
Good. Let's continue. Oh, commit 3 out of 40. Yeah, I don't care. That delete because we don't need this. We deleted this because we merged. bUnit web doesn't exist anymore. It's just bUnit.
Just delete file. Yeah. And
here is the
same thing with that.
Let's continue. Oh, commit 7. The bigger steps. I'm confident here. Test context base. This will probably. I will just put this in my. We can fix those issues later on. They will rise again. Probably.
Yes.
Well,
So,
no. We removed. No. That's not true. Sorry, that's my fault. This pose is different on V2.
So Stephen, the file is deleted, so you don't have to try to deal with merge conflicts.
No, I know, but the question is if the intention is still valid. And no, it's not, because the dispose in test context or bUnit context, how it's called in V2, is we basically separated the synchronous part with the asynchronous part, and therefore this one isn't necessary.
That might be, but I think that's also an old thing. So I think the reason why that shows up as a change is because we've updated the analyzers and it detects that problem.
Yes.
But so
here I would argue we take the current change because it's newer. Otherwise, we would have to resolve those things later on.
Agreed.
I'm just not sure why he thinks this is a merge conflict. But maybe we did update those versions at some point. I cannot remember, but probably we did. So let's take the current one. It's fine. It's
likely,
easy.
yeah.
And here we do the same. Well, we take basically the both. We want to take here 2, 5, 7 and remove this. And then we take the current change. That looks somewhat what we want. Good. You are on the side. There wasn't, there wasn't any veto when you.
No. Sorry, I'm just gonna merge our release branch thing, the PR, and we agreed we use merge when we push to stable, and we rebase when we go from stable to main, and so on and so forth. Yes.
So in this case, I would accept both changes. I know that we have to resolve this in a few seconds again, but I don't mind. It should be straightforward to do. Because your fixed part will be in unreleased, but in 129. That
I will close I'm gonna close the PR for rebase V2 on main, because we're doing that manually now.
I would just git push force right now. We did this together. I think we are. What should go wrong?
On V2, yeah, I think so. Okay. Should be fine.
If you want, you can pull the latest V2 right now, at least that you have it locally. And in the worst case, you can just always push force your current state if you want. But if you're fine, I just okay, then git push force incoming in 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Okay. Done.
Yeah. Access denied.
Okay.
So
updated.
No, I don't think you actually pushed, because it said you don't have access.
No, it does. It just tells me that I bypassed all the rules.
Okay.
You can see here the new comment.
I see. All right. Okay. Good enough. Okay.
So yes, the new release is out, I think. No, we have this.
No, it's building right now, and But you do want to merge V2 into our V2 Smarter Rendering on your machine as well. Make sure you have the latest version of that. It's on the feed slash
Smart rendering? Is it called? No. V2 smart rendering, of course. Okay,
Yes.
this is okay, wait. Let me just, hard origin V. No, how's it called? Featuring V2 smarter rendering. Ooh. Okay,
Yes.
that's said.
Humility.
Let's rebase this on V2. And yes, well, the version one, I want to have the current one because we decided that's a preview and not an alpha anymore.
Yes.
At least that's what we have on NuGet
Agreed.
right now.
Agreed. Yeah.
Continue.
No, we have alpha.
It's deletes it. I'm not sure why those pop up again.
Me neither.
And I think it's because we rebased. So the problem is now this branch here.
It's diverged.
It doesn't know what the common base between its V2 and the origin V2 is. And the common denominator is currently main. So that's why we have to do everything again.
Yeah, I don't think it's a common denominator. It should be the common denominator from the last time, like from the start point of V2 Smarter Rendering.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But because this was V2 and V2 has all its commit replaced with something new, it has to be main.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, of course.
And I'm not sure if we really want to do it like that.
Or do we? Yeah.
Or if we just
do we just want to do fast?
Just merge it later on.
Yes. Yeah.
Can we merge this without problems now? Because
no.
How many commits do we have? Shit, we don't have 4. Otherwise, my other option would be this one. We just take that one commit and cherry pick this. Let's try this. I am more in favor of just cherry picking this one commit.
Yes and no, because that's the first one. But there's multiple things you can see higher up, like date-wise.
Yeah, but they are exactly. But look at those; they are all on V2 already, and that's because the common denominator's broken.
Wait, how do you see that they're already on V2?
No, I know that.
Okay,
this one I did. Wait. We can make it easy. Just it's always good to double check. You don't have to trust me. That's the point of having a commit history. Let's go to V2. Let's go to the commits. And then check here, refactor cache constructor info. That is literally the last one we had on V2 before we did this fix thing here. And if we go back here, you can see this is our commit. And then we have this one. And from there onwards, it should reflect V2. So cache constructor info and then refactor change rendered component. And we see this here as well. Constructor, rendered component, inherits, blah, blah, blah.
Dang it. So basically, we actually have a mistake on stable right now.
Do we?
Yes. There's some versioning conflicts when trying to validate docs. It's a version conflict, so XUnit extensibility core, I was just a little bit too eager to merge things in, and I didn't do that right. That's how the hell did it work on? How did it actually build on main? Oh well.
Maybe it didn't. Did it build on main?
It did. It definitely did.
You are right. Well, 20 minutes ago, this is the prepare release. Oh yeah,
the prepare release included those changes, so I'm not
that's
sure.
True.
Exactly
It's also here the Microsoft code analysis, polyfills. I guess it's the XUnit one which is breaking our necks.
Yes, it's version conflict between XUnit core, and that's installed. bUnit web.query.test. So why this be problem? Let me just try to build locally from stable.
Okay. While you are doing this, I probably will just create a new branch where I just, cherry pick
Yes.
our work and hope for the best. So let's do that. I want to go to V2. Let me
Yes.
clear this out so it's not so much clutter on the screen. Then we say we want to make a new branch. CO is just my alias for create a new branch or check out. I know you can use switch, but I'm old school. And then we want to call that. How do we want to call that? Featuring. How did we call it? V2 smarter. And this is now here is a peak human intelligence smarter raw. Oh god. Oops.
Oh,
Smarter raw.
dang it.
Well, it works.
I know
anyway.
why it might be building on my machine, but not on. I
Works on my
I
machine.
need to install the latest.
That's
Well, I have the Net Preview 4 installed, Net 9 Preview 4, and that's why it's complaining. And there's also
Okay.
Preview 5 out.
So now I can basically close this pull request because I created this, as you can see here, feature V2 smarter rendering, which is, by definition better than the other branch.
By the way, folks, if you've ever heard the saying, never have long-lived branches, this is why you don't have long-lived feature branches.
yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, boy.
It sucks in all the wrong
now
ways.
It tells me... Wait, I cannot... No! Wait, I did something wrong. Okay, let me do it again. I have merge conflicts, but not locally. So let me take my weird branch, which is called Smarter. It wasn't that Smarter because it didn't work, and it's because it's a few comments behind, which is not good. Smart. Let me go to V2. Let me pull everything. Why do I have... Wait. There's a rebase going on. Interesting. What was wrong here? Okay, I was in a very, 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 very weird state here.
So I guess what you want to do, you want to create a new branch off of V2, and then you want to
exactly. I did this before, but let me just delete the other one I had. Feature V2 smarter raw rendering, because I like that name. So obviously what I do here is literally take that cute name. Okay. Now I want to get cherry pick. What I do have in my... where was it? Not this one. We want to have this one. Commits. Commits here. There we go. There we go. This beautiful SHA hash. That almost worked. Wait, copy full SHA hash. And what happens now if I just... Wait.
Yeah, copy paste buffer doesn't like you.
No. What happens if I do this manually?
Nope. Maybe do right click instead. Are you doing Control C,
Copy,
Control
yeah?
V?
Just that you see copy, yeah?
Yes, yeah, I trust you. And right click.
Yeah, right click. Oh,
if you have one.
Yeah, right click. Paste.
Yes. There we go.
I should maybe go out of IT profession from now on.
Well, maybe you are on a Mac. They might know. So.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Sometimes like when I copy a URL or something from a browser and you try to paste it in somewhere else, it tries to do the smart paste thing where it actually gives you the name and creates a URL for you. But then you have to do, in Windows Least, you have to do Control-Shift-V so that it just gives you the raw URL and don't try to include, the title. And I'm not sure if that might be something that was related to what you were seeing and if the Mac will do the same thing.
I will remove this smart rendering in V2 because, common denominator is gone. No, I want to... No. Or at least let me copy paste the content we have in here.
Yeah, just keep it around for now, I guess.
Or that. I thought our past selves probably had a reason keeping, those comments around. Probably. But then again, that's 4 weeks ago. So there's that. How is stable? Still stable? Stably red?
Mhm.
You're compiling right now.
I am trying to repeat it locally on my machine. Yes.
I just figured. I was like, you're exactly. You're super laggy right now, and it's just gone from time to time. It's like, okay, you're compiling. Your poor 32 cores
My
are
feet.
really. Oh yeah, you're really gone. It's interesting. Even your sound is gone. Not only the video feed is gone, like even when you speak, you're
Completely.
just gone. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to try to see if I can give the StreamYard
a bit more
task
CPU
priority.
power.
Yes.
That's very generous.
How can I give
Oh.
expand?
Look at this. That
Yes.
sounds very familiar. Isn't that exactly the error message you're dealing with right
Exactly. That's the one. Yeah, but you're also finding that run that broke. But I can't repeat it locally. So
no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
sure
That's
what's going on.
V2. That's V2 right now. But
Yes,
obviously, it has
but
to suffer from the same issues.
yeah, and I just went to stable, pulled that down on my machine, did a .NET build but that's bUnit test. So I'm not sure. I did a .NET build in release mode, and I'm not sure why that didn't just work.
I want to see this brush. Where are we referencing that file in the first place? Somewhere. Shouldn't this be props? Probably no. CS project no. Files include. Maybe I don't want to have JSON included. Thank you. What's that? Cache files. I'm pretty certain I also don't need cache files. Cache. Okay. It's this one? Where are we using this package? Or as a peer dependency?
I am not even like I don't think it's there anywhere.
Yeah, well, we are using this one here. Oh, that's true. XUnit
Yes.
extensibility execution, which may or may not have this dependency to this weird 2.81 of core.
But it should say that too, though. Hey, Dr. Cox.
Hello.
1911. We're doing good. How are you?
We're doing good, yeah. After 4 weeks, we are
back we are finding our the build pipeline.
Yes, the most interesting part, and the Git issues. So
yes,
we should call it bUnit DevOps session.
Yes.
You should rename it.
So yeah, I don't know what's going on because I just ran all the tests from stable on my machine. No problem. Build, no problem.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm not really sure. And that was a clean build.
Exactly. And somehow one of our peer dependencies should be to core, I think. The interesting part is that our bUnit web query package is the issue, or at least, it bubbles up from there, which is interesting to me. Because we have, our own directory build props, so we don't have some, inherited dependencies. And if I check here, there shouldn't be, web query tests. I should also check the tests, obviously. Jesus.
Yeah.
So here, this one?
I think it is conflicting with, so it's bUnit web assist query, it's XUnit 2.7, and this is because we're using 2.7. So it's actually, if you look at,
we
if
have
you look
one
at
time here. This one is the problem, huh?
You're probably right. Yes.
We're always using 2.81.
Well,
And
that's the
this
latest
one,
one. We wanna upgrade that. Yeah. So okay, let me find because I think I can just push directly to stable. I think I have the override button of all override buttons.
yeah,
Yeah.
it works on my machine is exactly the case. And
But the annoying thing though is that you know it shouldn't be working on any machines.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it should be consistent. That's the whole promise, right? It doesn't matter, but it's at least consistently not working anywhere else. So yeah. So
But
X unit.
yeah, what is the latest and greatest here? Yeah, I feel like somehow our versioning. Also, the Visual Studio Runner is probably
So
wrong here. Because this one, the 257, is also very old. Interesting. Oh yeah, be right back. Have to reboot after update. Yes. We did this before, or some of us did this. It wasn't update. It was Excel, but well, it's
yeah.
the same. It's the same. So
So,
I
but no,
do
I think
think.
the problem is that our XUnit version we have over in our sample runner is incompatible with the one that is. So probably if I go into CD samples, CD docs, sample, and try to run that solution, .NET build, C release, then I might run into set problems that we had before.
Hopefully, at least you can, verify it, or you can reproduce it. That would be nice. But I'm still. I mean, we should just
Yes.
align all the versions. It's simple as that. I can also see like here X unit is 242.
Agreed. Yes, so we want to use 245. That is the latest version we can use of the runner, though, because it's there's some conflicts
Yeah. Sorry,
problems.
we are still on V1. Yes, you're right. Because I can see
Yes,
here
yes.
the runner in the bUnit web query test project is also higher than what we allowed in other solutions. For example, here you have 24.
No, it's
there's even written
245.
do
It
not
should.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Exactly. But not in the web query test project. I guess we
No,
somehow
that. Yeah.
screwed it up.
So,
I don't know how, to be honest. I
but the
do not
thing
know how we
is,
screwed
it's
it up.
actually not wrong on my machine. Are you sure you're on stable?
Oh god. No, I'm not.
So yeah, but
There's a good question. Is there a reason why you are not using CPM? No, we evaluated this like 2 years ago when this freshly came out, and at this point in time, we decided we are not going ahead because of missing tool support. Mainly because on my end, because I was using Rider and Visual Studio Code, and 2 years ago it didn't really work great.
can you remind me what is CPM?
Central
Help me with.
package management.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh,
That
that
you have
would
this
make
one
sense. Yeah.
file and everything where you define all the versions, and then you just reference the name, and automatically you have exactly that version, which exactly would prohibit those problems we're seeing right now. So no,
Yes.
there's I guess nowadays there's not a good reason anymore. Tooling is good enough. I think at
Okay.
least. And
Well,
there's
let's
also
put
no
it
good
on our
reason
to-do
anymore.
list. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, let's put it there. Or just reactivate the ticket if you want. I can do that.
Yeah. If they have a. Okay. I just did something dirty. I pushed directly to stable. Let's see if that fixes the
It
build
worked
up
earlier.
unstable.
It will work. It will always work. Central package management, something like that. Management. Oh, it is still open. Interesting. Still something for V2. You see. Interesting. So yes, I do think for V2 we can go ahead with that. Using Write as well. It works nicely though, but it wasn't really working exactly back in the days. we really checked this, like, unfortunately, like 2 or 3 weeks after Microsoft announced this on their dev blogs, and it was a pain for me to work with. In Visual Studio at the time, it worked really nice, and I still think it's a nice feature. So yes, we should probably go ahead, or if someone Twinkie looking at the chat is willing to provide a pull request, we are always open
Yeah.
for that.
So it did complete the release of V2, but the so yeah, so it CI from let's. I just want to make sure. Filter by brand, stable. So update.
By any means, Dr. Cox, if I can ask, do you know if the CPM works good with the Dependabot? Because we're using Dependabot for bumping our versions, and at least directory build props is working nicely, I would say, or at least we never had any issue. But I have no experience whether or not this works with central package management. I would say it should. I mean, that's the same company creating the feature, creating Dependabot, so that should work. But if you have experience, let us know.
I think I would expect it to work with it.
Yeah, me too.
Dependabot has been better for me, also for like compared to Visual Studio. Like it actually understands that you have directory build props and should update the version there, not in the specific, and so on and so forth. So yeah,
it's interesting. For example, Rider is kind of bad when it comes to NuGet updates. If you're using directory build props, then it sees that you have a directory build props, and it sees, okay, your 3 projects, for example, are using XUnit in version ABC. And now there's an update to ABD. And what it does, it doesn't update the directory build props, but rather just inserting this line in every of the dependent projects. And it's like, what? Why? But yeah. And Dependabot is really good with this.
I see. Yeah.
According to the docs, it should. Yeah, I would have expected exactly that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Then we should go ahead.
All right, so I just merged something into stable. It's running the release docs, which will create a PR for merging back into main. But I can also do that manually. Well, oh, man.
The only thing which maybe not even on V2, maybe we want to have this on main as well, because I think we have quite some merge conflicts if we have this differently on those different branches.
Yes, as long as we are still allowing Dependabots to update our dependencies. But I think with central package management, then we have all our packages defined in one place, right? Also across different target frameworks, because we do have something where we need to say, well, for this target framework, we want this version, and so on and so forth. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So we do have like net framework or something like that.
Yeah, we do have in some of our. Yeah, but this you can just look at in the condition. So like
something like this.
Where we.
So I mean, this is now here for no, not this one, but it's similar to some of our packages where we say, hey, if you're .NET .NET, I don't know 6, use system text JSON in this version, otherwise use this version. So I think this should also work, and you can always overwrite it, I think, in the project itself. But yeah. Oh, that's good to know that with CPM, Rider has less problems than with the directory build props. That's really good to know. Maybe I should do this in some of my projects.
So, I am.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for it to finish verifying the doc sample, so it'll create a merge towards main, so we can merge that into stable, so we can merge that into the branch you have.
I like.
Yeah, but it takes a while to run those sample tests. It shouldn't really take that long, but it just
Is it the
takes
top
a
one
while.
here? Ensure XUnit using same version across
Yes,
solutions.
yeah. It's been 5 minutes now. I'm a bit, you know,
Ah.
I was actually chatting to the new, when I was at KCDC, the guy who's the new, what's it called, chairman of the .NET Foundation.
Oh,
And I forgot to ask him, how can I get a dedicated runner for my CI pipelines? Like, so they're supposed to be able to support you with various things, but I would really like a slightly beefier pipeline, so we don't have to wait 10 minutes every time we want to do shit. We can just
that would be something, yeah.
yeah.
I would be also interested if whether or not they push docfx version 3. I know that's long time brewing, but unfortunately it's not out.
No, it's yeah, I think it's work in progress. I do believe Microsoft Docs has started using that actually, but it's yeah. So we at some point when there's additional month of the year, it might also be fun to do things like update the whole documentation side. Oh no, what happened? Oh no,
Please
that's
commit your
expected. That's expected. So it tries
is
to
it?
automatically
Oh.
merge in. Yes, it tries to automatically merge into to main, but if it can't, it will just go and create a PR for us. We used to have a PR now.
Okay,
Go
awesome.
to
Okay, perfect.
yes. So that's part of the whole deal there. So you will be able to see there's some file changes there if you go and have a look at those.
Can we see what you did here? The XUnit
Yes,
one?
you can actually
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah, you
exactly.
updated. Nice.
So for that one,
Looking good.
I don't want to wait for that. So should this be
Is this
should this
correct?
be
This is the wrong version, but that's fine, I guess, huh? This is not aligned to whatever we have. So here we have 245, and here we have 254. The other way around. Sorry, 254 and 245. You see that?
why? Well, then there must be
yeah,
other
better.
places because I copy pasted that. Dang it! Why the?
Well, it's green, it's working, but
Yeah.
interesting, huh?
Okay, yeah. Well, good enough is what I'm gonna leave it with. So the update main, should that be a rebase? No,
I
do we
think
want to?
not. I don't think so. Well, we had this a while, and for some apparent reason, we always run into problems, and I'm not sure why this happened, but there was a lot of work always to do. So
Yeah. The thing
whatever,
is, yeah, I just want to make sure we don't have any conflicts when we go the other way, right? When the next time we want to make a release, and I don't do this often enough so I can remember what is the best way to achieve this. But now, if we look at it, we should have. So main and stable should be the same except for those 4 files. If I understand.
they should be the same. Well, they should
Yes.
be totally the same, even.
Yes.
And now, yeah, you mean before the pull request is merged? Yes. After it's merged, it should be literally the same. Only difference is that you have one more commit on main because of the merge. Or we don't have, if we rebase, then the amount of, it shouldn't be any change. It should be identical. The head should be identical.
Yeah. Well, as far as I can tell, it doesn't hurt anything if we make a merge commit. So I'm just going to do that. Merge.
I also don't think so. That's a problem.
Yeah, no. It adds a bit of noise, but we're just merging that in. So that's gone now. And now we have something in main.
You didn't await the task, you just fire and forget and merge that thing.
Yeah, I forced it.
Async void. We did async void.
Yes, exactly. Hope for the best. Okay, so I guess actually, so you did a rebase on your machine for V2, right?
Yes.
So what? But before you did that, you asked me to pull, right? So I guess should I? If I share my screen, we can replay locally what you did, because now we want to make sure that V2 is up to date with main, right?
But V2 is up. I mean, V2 is only missing those 2 commits now from stable.
Yeah, I'm just
well,
wondering.
we can replay that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I share screen here and go to window and choose this
To the
fellow
window.
here. Oh, and I want to zoom. So I don't trust myself to be smart enough to do this without a bit of help. So you can see I have 40 new things and then 68, 67, because that's the changes you force pushed. But I'm gonna go to this. I'm not gonna pull down your changes, your rebase attempt. I'm just gonna do it again here. Okay.
Wait. No, the other way around.
No. Yeah, because I just have, before you did your thing, right? That's the V2 I have. So and now I have a newer main than you do. So I'm wondering if I do, let me see if we say new branch, V2 backup. So if I go here, well, actually we can just do it here, might as well. And no, go to that one. Yeah, go to this branch, thank you very much. And then rebase V2 on main, rebase on main.
Yeah, you should have a few conflicts. Exactly.
Yes.
The ones we also earlier had.
Yeah. So we want to keep this guy and continue rebase. Yeah, a few more things here. And yep. So modified, that would be go to my problem. Oh, we want to select that bit there. Oh, hang on, somebody's at the door. Be right back.
Okay. So in the meantime, I can do the same. How can I take over your screen? Oh, it's stop. No. Oh, wait. I after short difficulties with my setup, I will try to share. Easy. So let's do this again. So we are on V2. We do know that. Why is V2 rebased? I have no idea. Okay, that's not good. What is the last thing we did? I'm confused because. Okay. I did this literally half an hour ago and there was no commit on V2. But what we can do is we can just say, hey, we fetched probably. Oh, yeah, I pulled. So automatically I fetched, but better safe than sorry. And just take the current main. And it's already updated. Are we sure? If I say status, then it says I'm. Oh, that is very, very interesting. Didn't we have some comments on main? Or don't we? 4 minutes ago, I should see this here. Why cannot? I'm confused now. Why don't I see this change? Git fetch. Git. Oh, you're back. You're muted.
Yeah, no, I'm laughing. It's just the last 2 streams have been us like struggling with Git. Yeah.
I'm just wondering why I don't see this commit. I could also just, and now I show you my. Wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
100.
replaying
Then one
changes.
line, and then we make a grab.
So I'm trying to consider doing
something here with merge from 1494. Oh, that's in. So V2 30. But if I go to status, it tells me it's up to date, but it cannot be because your changes.
No, yeah, I haven't pushed anything. So I'm going to merge. I'm trying to, instead of do rebase, I'm going to merge into. I'm going to.
Oh, by the way, I just took over the screen. So if you want to share something, you have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So I am going to use merge instead of rebase, just to see, because just so we get a merge commit on V2. I'm going to probably be fine with that, honestly. So let's see, V2, we deleted that, so let's just keep deleting the file. Delete. Here we modified both. We want to go to the change, which
I will be also back in a minute.
Yeah, do your
You
thing.
excuse me.
I will. Conflict, which is the conflict here? We want to have, yes, that one. And so yeah, I'm a big fan of this tool here, fork. It's it does the things I want it to do. So, well, we want actually both, because we want the latest version like so. There we go. That one we don't have anymore. Merge. Well, actually, let's do this and then do that.
So I'm back. You know, what is interesting that given that we didn't stream for weeks, given
Yes.
that we also didn't develop for weeks, we have a lot of merge conflicts.
Yeah,
give
well,
it-
I blame the Penderbot.
Me too. Always do that.
Yes. Now, there was something with the change log that I want you to double check for me here. So,
Yeah, that sounds right on the right side. That seems correct.
that seems right. Okay.
Exactly. This is the one you wrote, and that's the one we published basically now to Nugget.
Okay, so I think what I will do is actually I will force push because I merged. So instead of having your attempt at rebasing, I'm just going to force push my V2 and override your rebase of V2 because now we have just a merge
Can I ask
commit.
a question? Why?
Yes, go ahead.
So why are we doing this? Because basically, didn't we agree to the version on Origin V2 that we did nothing wrong and it should be right?
Yes, but because we now have a merge commit that should deal with all the that sort of handle, instead of having to go through multiple commits every time. I think we're just going to use merge instead of rebase going forward.
You will not go through every time. Because a rebase does exactly that.
No,
check what.
Yeah. So the problem is more the feature branch issues, right? So when
Yeah,
you
that's
have a
fair,
long
that's
feature
fair.
branch, yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. What do we have here? What are the commits? If I just go and check out this branch and just say I just want to use. Come on, switch. So from this down to I do think we have a bunch of commits. Clear branch filter. So here, that is this branch. Where's that on? Where's my branch?
This is V2.
Oh, you're right. This is V2. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So there's just one commit essentially ahead of V2, whatever that V2 is.
Yes, that's why I did the cherry pick earlier, because it's the easiest solution to the problem.
Okay. Yeah, but you can see now it understands there's only one instead of 40. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we can. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. So if you wanna do the rebase again from main to stable with the latest changes on main.
Main to stable.
No, sorry, shit. I mean V2, rebase V2 on main again.
Wait. That's the interesting part, that V2 has all the commits. if I go to the pull request, let me check something. Let me quickly check.
Let me
something.
switch to your screen again.
Yeah, thank you. That was if I go and say, hey, put v2 into, then we can see.
Yeah, no, but you want to go the other way. You want to put main into v2. Because v2 is missing stuff. Yes, v2 is missing stuff.
No, you see, there's nothing changed. So our v2 is the current way. v2 is absolutely where it should
be. We just have something new. We just have a merge in from main.
Right.
From
we can
stable.
also see it here. We can also go here, Uppsala, to this one. Let's see all branches, because you can see quite easily that v2 is 0 commits behind.
So, okay, so it might be
because we have this automatic, we have the automatic merge thingy.
I see, that's why. Oh, never mind in that case. Yes, always, yeah, okay, so...
Yeah,
okay,
I give you that. Now the
that
problem
explains,
is...
that explains, yes.
But now the problem is, and as you said, we now again rebased, so the common baseline of feature v2 smarter rendering, v2 and origin v2 is already again changed. So probably, as you can see, it tells me already it's 41 commits ahead, even though it's only 1 commit ahead.
Yeah, okay, so...
yes, it's really shitty.
Yeah, so if you wanna, you already created a copy of the smarter rendering feature branch, v2 smarter rendering. So actually, maybe instead of placing it under feeds, maybe we just have v2/smarter rendering, so we can more easily discover them, right?
Yeah, you know what? I will delete this one here. That just doesn't matter.
And just this cherry pick
because I created it like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I am just going to.
Sorry, how do you want to call it?
No, you can just use, I don't know, v2/, and then smarter rendering, or yeah.
Good. Just for the folks wondering what push-u is, it's an alias for myself. So it means you set upstream origin.
Steven has the manga version of Git.
Oh yeah, well, I like Uwu and I don't know, Pikachu. That would be nice. Those aliases, and we have absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm sorry, I get Pikachu.
Yeah.
So let's go back. So here, yes, you see recent pushes, and there should also be now this. I screwed up. Damn it. Now I screwed up. Okay. I unfortunately pushed this. Cannot log ref exists already. And I just thought I did it, and then I cherry picked. Let me remove the last commit.
I can also just force push from v2. I have the latest version of v2.
Yeah, please do that. Please do that. That is very.
Let me just fetch and see what it tells me. Changed. Yes. So that is. Yeah, that's only the origin. Yeah, I'm just gonna push v2.
You should be technically speaking 1 commit behind.
Yes, I was. So okay, now it should be back to where it was.
Okay. I see it. Okay, then we make it get reset hard, and now let's do it again. And instead of this name, because we have already smarter rendering like that. But I don't see it. Where is it? View all branches. Hey. He told me if I do this, cannot log ref exists, which means you cannot use the / because we have it as a name. You cannot use both. That's not possible. Because basically this is a file and a folder at the same time. That doesn't work.
I see. Okay. Well,
so this one.
So I'm just gonna create a new branch called v2 smarter rendering, and without the feature stuff on it, right?
Well, I will do this. Should I do this?
Yeah, Steven already created even smarter rendering before. A smarter rendering renderer. Yeah. All right. Jesus Christ, Stephen. Come on. We
Okay,
I swear
let
to
me
God,
show you.
we should be able to get some coding done today.
Yeah, let's go. So we push this. Now it's up in the cloud forever. Yeah, look at this. That looks good. If I say
All right.
go in with v2, then we should have only one commit and a few files. Yeah. Took us only roughly 1.5 hours. Cool.
Well, that's what happened when you only do this every fourth week.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay. I will not create the pull request because it doesn't matter.
No. Okay. I'm gonna check that out. I'm going to open the branch in my VS.
bUnit here. I can also switch to dark mode again. Oftentimes I have this one, and you took over.
Let me just steal the screen for you, man. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So actually, what I like to do sometimes, both when I'm reviewing and let's see, when I'm working on things that I can't remember what I did, I can just say, let's just reset back here and keep our changes. So now I can go into Visual Studio, click this button, and then it only shows me the changed files since last time. And let's bump this up to 200.
Kind of like a soft reset the other way around.
Yeah, well, I also do that when I'm doing a PR review, and because usually you go into GitHub and you can see the file, but you kind of want to navigate around it and get the full IntelliSense or whatever it's called in your favorite editor. You want to have the full editor experience while you're reviewing. But you like, if it's a project with many files like our project is, it's nice to be able to only show me the change files. So basically you can just, there's an option here to say pending change filters. I would really love if they had a pending PR, whatever, show changed PR files, something like this in here. So it's easy.
They have that in Visual Studio Code.
Okay. So
it's interesting that probably there's an add-in.
Yeah. So without checking, I basically checked out the PR, but I want to be able to just step through the files that are changed and only the files that are changed, but still get the full experience, and it'll highlight this is changed, for example. Now, I am very much trying to remember what the hell we were doing.
So what we did do is, maybe to make a bigger picture, we tried with the smarter rendering thing that, so if you have an HTML, your HTML consists out of multiple components. And in V1, basically every component you render and its subcomponents was kind of its own tree in our representation. But what we did with V2 is basically we have one bunch of code, like your HTML code, and every component inside is just a slice of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes, and what this enables us is we can easily go up and down the render tree. That's something. We save a bit of performance if we are very smart, if we want to be very smart. And one issue we had on one issue we had on V1 is, imagine you have your component and that component has a form, and inside your form you have another component. And inside that, that nest component, you have a submit button. The problem is, if you use stuff like find component, we just really give you that part, and that's the whole tree from that component's point of view. So if you press submit, there's nothing above it. It's the root, which leads to a weird behavior. And with the new approach, basically with the new approach, you always have the full picture in mind, which leads to less weird side effects or behavior, where you think, but my button is there, my form element is there. Why is on submit not triggered? That's what we try to do. These two main issues we want to tackle.
And amazingly enough, all tests are passing.
What? Amazingly, I mean, that's
well, yes and no. I couldn't really remember how we, if we actually got it all building and working and all of that.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have our rendered component, and it has this dirty flag, which is.
But I can remember that we try to, if we end the stream, we try to end on a high note, and that always means, the tests are green. You could, in theory, release this as a preview build. Oftentimes.
I do have take issues with not having something that works. So we are inheriting from component state, and the problem is when we go away for so long, right? It's a whole problem, right? You want it to
I
come back to something that
remember.
works. Yeah,
I
you wanna come
remember
back.
what we did. So there was this thing. I mean, besides the the changes you have opened, we tried to find a way, or we tried to find out if it's a smart move to have a kind of a bUnit root component, which also inherits from rendered component, which is
You mean component state, right?
yes, sorry, but also probably from rendered I'm not sure what we did, but from an
So yeah,
abstract point of view, that we have a special treatment for the real root component
yeah.
for the user. But
I want to see what
that's
we changed. Did we just rename the file?
we did this for debugging purpose. I can remember how often we go into this method, because we checked that is how we ended. We had a test which basically says, hey, you should be rendered X, Y, Z the amount of times. And then we came to the conclusion the test is now wrong.
Yeah, but all of this file is in. Let's go back here to this view, and you can see this is a new file. bUnit renderer. Oh, that's
No,
bUnit. Oh, that
that was
yeah.
my clusterfuck with
Yeah. Okay.
So, folks,
So,
if you do regx, always check twice what you're doing. It will 90% of cases backfire into your face.
so let's see.
I try to.
This is just white space changes. These are just white space changes. I want to say, like, what if I do just yeah, it's annoying. It can't recognize that this is the same file.
Which is interesting because normally Git does that via.
Yeah.
Well, one metric is content.
Oh, so here it actually does. Okay, so it doesn't do it there. Let's see. Can we collapse things ever so slightly, or rather, let's just do this instead. So name changed and deleted one. Okay, I just want to make sure how much we cheated in terms of getting all the tests to run. And this is just deleting one test that I think ended up not making sense in this particular case. And here, that's just spelling mistakes. Okay, and okay, so here we actually did make a change in the rendered component. And
Yes.
And if
because we want to express whether or not if you render something.
Let's expand a bit more.
And
so
there's no change in the parent, so the parent shouldn't be re-rendered.
Render events for non-rendered subcomponents are not emitted. Okay, so let's have a look at this test. So actually just go to the test. Yep, here we go. So we render a parent component that basically just renders two components, first and second. Then we get each of them out. We find the components, and then we say, well, after the initial rendering, we should all have render count of 1. Then we trigger the first component to re-render itself, and only that will then re-render, and the parent component does not get triggered, which was, I think, what we had before. If we just compare here, yes, we had a tool that it also triggered, and then again we cause the second one to re-render, and that doesn't cause the parent component to re-render. So, right. So, yes. So if we go in here, this is the parent. So just I guess I want to just double check that. So how can we, so build render tree is called if we actually do run through lifecycle method, right?
Mm-hmm.
That will be, because if we go to component base, come on, build render tree gets called, but what is it that actually triggers that state has changed?
It was very much on the top. You passed it already.
Yes, I understand. I'm just trying to make sure that my logic is right. I want to make sure that there's no lifecycle methods gets called, because that would constitute a re-render. So I want to find my status changed here. Sorry, I'm scrolling up and down, folks. Bear with me. Status changed is essentially what we get. So status changed, so if status changed, that's basically, and that calls render fragment, which is the thing that will then, that is assigned here, and render fragment will then call build render tree. Yes. So back. If I put a breakpoint here, go to, not that one, but go to this test, debug that. And let's just put a breaky point here. Come on, Visual Studio. Build. First time's a bit slower. Last time no, I don't want this open when I'm debugging. Okay, so this is during the first render that we are hitting the 2 wrapper. I'm gonna F5 on that. Now we get down here, hit F5. We get into our update markup. That's not don't care about that breakpoint right now. Oh, wrong key. Continue. And yeah, the test passed. Okay, so I actually believe this change we made to the test here is correct. Like, this is more what I expect to, but it's not in line with how V1 behaves, but this is correct.
That's true.
Yes, all right, good. That's acceptable. So in terms of the test, we are fine with them. So let's have a look at what we actually did here. And I do believe this is all about also an example. We're doing some refactoring here, but to some extent, we have this internal interface that we introduced that has a bunch of stuff that we might want to have. But it's right now it's a bit of it's not super clean code. It's sort of hacked together to make it work. But we do definitely want to fix that up afterwards. Like, we want to make it ugly to make it pretty again, right? So
even though I wouldn't say that's that ugly, to be honest, I don't think that's far from the ideal picture.
Yes. So this is the public iRendered component that we will be returning to users, right? It has the instance, it has markup, it has whether it's disposed, the component ID, render count, it has nodes, services, on after render, and so on and so forth, right? Now, here, these are something we use internally to sort of maintain our render tree with. Or rather, we have this, so that points to the root. Then we have some methods that updates the positioning in the markup. Now, I do want to check down here. So, again, this is just getting the markup, and it's reading that from the markup. So what I want to make sure I understand what logic we have here. So we have update markup. It will. All right, let's see what happens here. So set markup indices. So this is all from the HTML analyzer where we capture where. So we build up the markup for the root component. And then we note down where it starts and where it ends. So here we can see when we render specific a child component, we get the start index based on the context result, which is a string builder. What is your length? So it starts at 0, goes up from there. Once we are done rendering the frames for our component, we get the end index, and we pass that into the whatever component we have, and say this is your slice of the overall string we have. Now, going back here, then at the end we get call update component. So whenever we have a bUnit renderer, whenever we update, so let's see, this is during root. So update display async, which is the method that gets called when we want to update. So first we remove disposed components, we update components by cycling through all the components, get the render component out, increment render state if it's been updated, if it has actually changed. So Blazor tracks that, mark it as dirty. We say if you are not root component, we mark the root as dirty as well, because we want to signal to the root that, hey, you changed, man. And you changed. You changed. And then we go through each of our root components, and root components, let's see if we go to this fella here and find all references. So when do we add one to that? That is, a root component is added whenever we do a new call to render. So we can have, in theory, you can have multiple bUnit context.render this, right? So we can have, in theory, we will, most of the time, people just have one, because they're only rendering one render tree per test. But in theory, yes. All right. So for each of our root components, we will go and say, if you are dirty, go and update your markup. Okay, let's see what are we else doing here? Returned render component. What is that? Oh, returned render component. That name.
Some static, not static, some field we have.
Returned. I see. Yes. So returned. That's component name IDs of component rendered components IDs that we've returned to the user. So whenever you do a find component, whenever you go and search the tree, hey, well, Dr. Cox, yes, Germany will be playing. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm not sure they. I think they'll do nice at the
against Spain. I guess against Spain, huh?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. Yeah. Well, so let's call that no. Okay, we are. I actually want to watch that game as well, but let's continue until 4 UTC, and I can always catch second half. Nice of you to hang out, Dr. Cox. We'll definitely hopefully be back next Friday.
Next Friday, same time, same place.
Yes,
and I don't think next Friday is a football game. Have a nice one.
Might be the final or something. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, this is the list of component IDs that we returned. If we have returned them, we check are they dirty, and if they are dirty, we update the markup. So let's go and look at update markup. So, well, let's actually go to the implementation. That would be nope. There we go. So if dispose, we just ignore that. If root is so if root is not null, essentially is what we're saying here, right?
Exactly.
If root is not null, yeah, because the root component will have a null root component, right? So
yeah.
So essentially, if this is a child component, then we go and find the root, we go and get it markup, and we slice basically the markup from the markup start index to the end index of this component. So we get its markup out, and we check, hey, are this actually the same markup as we had before? If that's not the case, we update the markup, we just null out the latest rendered nodes, and then we tell our waiting listeners that we've changed, the markup has changed. And if we go and have a look here, this just reached markup, and if we go to nodes will go and say latest, if they're null, we just pass them again. So it's lazily evaluated. Now, if we are the root, we use HTMLalyzer to create all the markup once more from scratch, and we write that, and we reset our rendered nodes, and we tell the world that the root component has been updated, if there's any listeners for that. Afterwards, we say we're not dirty anymore, and we tell everybody that we're done rendering, basically, on after render. Now, technically, I'm a bit wary about having this on after render. If you look here, right, on after render isn't triggered. So this isn't called after the on after render in component base, like the lifecycle method on after render. Like this is called before that is called. Right. So it might be signaling some if there are somebody who's actually customizing and using like this is fairly
that's
low
something
level
in
API.
real on after render.
Yeah,
then
it's
you're
not after
screwed.
the it's after the renderer is done with what it wants to do. But on after render in component base is something that happens again after. So this is not. Yeah, I am wondering if we can just go and find our references. How many places do we actually listen to this one? We do it here, minus disposing. When do we plus to that? Subscribe to on after render. And what is this? Oh, it's wait for. Yeah. So, and the reason why we different, the reason why we have, I think the reason why we have this is that we want our wait for also to be able to trigger when a component's lifecycle method has been called but hasn't produced new markup. So we want to differentiate between. So if you have wait for state, it might be
Wait for
things
state,
that
yes.
yeah. So that might not be wait
Or
wait for markup
assertion.
or wait for element wouldn't need to. So yeah, that's to do something to do here right now. There's a bunch of things here I don't necessarily like very much. So here, yes, we are slicing, which to my understanding means that we are copying basically the subset of the string.
The string.
Yes. It would be nice if we didn't have to do that, right? But I'm not sure.
Well, you could just always just expose or save the index, and only if you call, if you really want the markup, you just slice it.
Yes, you
from the root, because
yes,
you know your root.
Yes, so that would be lazily done, right? So I think we can, but that's sort of a minor point. The next thing is that we actually go and well, we don't do that here, but we do that up here when we say give me the notes, and here we do the HTML parser thing that actually does the parsing. Is that parsed in from, where does that come from? It comes from, it comes from services. Now, ideally, we only create one set of nodes, again, at the root component level. And those nodes, I think we should be able to go up to the root components nodes and say, give me the nodes that sort of index-wise matches. So we could, I guess, latest rendered nodes. Yeah. I wonder if we can have a look at this. I think that should be definitely be possible. So here we say ensure component not disposed, and if root is null, then we are the root. Well, this is null, and okay, so if it is null, this is null. I'm gonna write some ugly code initially. Then if root is null, all right. So this particular case, then we definitely do want to go and say latest rendered nodes equals whatever we get there. Now, if we are not root, if we are root, if we don't, no, this is, I am root.
No, you're not.
Root.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. See what I did there? Else we do that. But here we can then do latest equals root dot nodes. Hang on. Nodes notes.
It's not root. You have to cast it again to the concrete type.
That's
but that's fine. I mean, you're
fine.
inside that type. You know that you are a rendered component of T component. That's absolutely
yeah,
fine.
that's right. That's why we have that cast further down as well. That's why we say root is. So let's just reverse this bad boy here. So no, that was wrong.
Wait,
Here.
that was correct.
Yeah, there we go.
What? No, I'm gone. I'm gone.
Oh, god damn it. Copy paste buffer got reset. Here we go.
Doesn't Windows not have like a clipboard manager? I think so.
I have, but I disabled it
Oh.
for reasons. So
But in the top one you want to have is not.
yes. So I'm just gonna reverse.
You just reverse. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So now we can do root dot node dot and
How do you want to get the slice?
yes. So let's put a little breaky point here. I do believe, and if we just debug the last test, start test, debug last run, which was just that single test we ran before.
The one with the render counts.
Exactly. Because we have like a child parent thing going on here. All right, there you go. Oh, well. So that was a bad example because we actually don't access the nodes in that test. So yeah. Well,
was it that bad? Because we still had like a relationship. You had parent-child relationships. Or even
yeah,
siblings.
and this one renders out element. Yeah. So yeah, but the thing is, in this test, I don't access the. So I'm just going to create a new test that looks the same. So we have this. Oh, actually, that's probably fine. No. Yeah, well, this is just going to be example stuff because first.nodes. What is this? Sample first, simple one, and might not be the best example. That would be, come on, you can give me intelligence for that. That would be header first. Second. There we go.
Yeah, just as a small heads up, I have to drop off in a few minutes, just so you know.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Nodes. So, breakpoint here, run this test. So I do believe we have sort of source information in the nodes that should allow us to go and pull out the nodes that are within our start and end indices. But yes, come on.
Did we maybe create a Stack Overflow? No.
Oh,
I feel like maybe we did something we shouldn't have done in the code. Because we changed nodes, didn't we?
no,
implementation.
I don't think so. It shouldn't. I should be hitting this one right there.
Yeah, for sure that. But I feel like something.
So if the root, if it has a root, we go put that. Otherwise, we set that and we just return it. Now, let me just debug last one again. Okay.
Okay. If you
Well, I think need to say, I don't know,
console writer.
nodes first should have.
It should not be null. I would just take something which we are certain right now. It's not
should
crashing.
not be empty. Yeah. I just wanted to actually have an assertion. Otherwise, it's just going to exit the test before I get to set a breakpoint. Come on, you can do it. Okay, we get in here. That's fine. And root should not be, well.
I mean, it's root for, we have to check if this
yeah. So now I want to interrogate that a little bit. Yeah, I know. Root dot nodes. Well, I guess we have to go in and then build the action nodes, of course, before we can interrogate them. Okay, so now we have a node list here with 2 members. It's 2 divs, 1 div.
And that's correct.
Yes.
First, somewhere,
now,
and the other one.
Let me just do root dot nodes and expand that, because I want to see, I believe that is there should be something like source or something.
Yeah, owning something. There's also, isn't there owning context and stuff?
Source reference. There we go. All right. Yeah. Okay. That might not work for us though. Position line 1, column 1. So I can do a zoom it here so you can actually see what I'm looking at as well. Oh. So you can see we have, well, I'm going to have to resize things a bit so you can follow along. So here we have I don't know if it's large enough, we have source reference, and it gives us some positional line, column, position. I wonder if this position is just straight up number of strings that's been passed. Now, if we go and that was number 1.
Kind of like you just count lines, like lines multiplied by plus,
so
and you are exactly at the same position.
So the second one is position position 60. Yes.
Could be. We should have. Now we could check whether or not our indexes are correct. If this is starting at 60, then we know.
Markup start indices, markup end indices, 93. So yeah.
Not really.
No, I am. If we just look at the what is root dot markup. So again, can't zoom in on this. No, that just zooms.
But you can just take this in VS Code and just go to 60.
Let's do that. Right then. Close folder, new file. So this is the raw markup. There we go. So I'm not sure that. Wait.
I'm not sure how to 60.
which is not the test. This one was the test. I'm going to init first and saying nodes. First.nodes. Why? So if I'm
We have to go
calling
until the
columns
end of
here,
the div.
yes, this would be part of the first element,
Yes. Yes.
but it goes from line 1, column 60. So it goes all the way to 60. But again, why does it think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just. Oh, shit. Here we go. Watch. So markup. Let's see. Markup start index and end index. It says 19 and 33. Which I don't really understand how that works. Let's go down to, because it clearly works correctly. Otherwise, we couldn't. So update markup start index 19. How does this work?
Where are we right now? Are we the second element? Are we the first element? Because we're not the root element in this
No,
part.
I agree. So this dot, this, no.
I know you're first. I can see no. It's hard to read.
It's simple one, and this dot.
And what is simple one header?
This dot instance. So that's first. We are the first component. So I'm
I
not
don't understand why
understanding.
we are 19.
No markup, but it. Oh, hang on. It doesn't. The div is not included. Ah, that's why. So go to simple one. Here we go. So yeah, it doesn't include the div. The div is in the wrapper. Fair enough. So that makes sense. Okay, so going back here, if I want the nodes, so perhaps this actually might work. So go here into, we have the nodes, we expand those, we have a div, but then we actually, what we want to return here, what is the right answer, would be, boom, 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 that would be, where do we have child nodes? Children, there we go. Children, we have one child, that's the outer. And let's go into that. And if we look at its source reference, it starts at position 20.
Because it's 1 based, not 0 based index. So that makes sense.
Probably. And then it has, yeah. So I think what we could do is we would so it would be, let me just stop debugging for a bit here. So to be able to find the nodes, we would basically say something like yeah, sure. Get node. That sounds about right. Oh, go in here, block. So
just a heads up, I have to drop off. If you want, you can continue. Otherwise, we see as latest next week.
Yes. Let's. So I think there is potential for this to be working. I might hang a little bit on this later this evening, but yeah. Let's go to checkout mode here. So it was excellent talking to you again, Stephen. It's been too long.
It was nice after a few weeks. Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's why next week we have to continue instead of waiting another month.
yeah. Unfortunately, I'm going on vacation the week after, so it'll be a big jump again. But
It is how it is.
That is how it is. Yeah. Hopefully, we can get a good, long, solid run in the fall. But yeah, definitely. Anyway, folks, let's call
Thanks
that
for
a
hanging
day.
out with us.
Yeah. Thanks for coding with us, and we will see you in a week. Bye bye.
In a week, same time, same day, same place, not same day.
Yeah. Cheers. Bye. All right.